Hey guys, it's your girl Londyn, and today we're going to be doing another look from the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. So at this point, I feel like this has been a Natasha Denona Zendo palette week. But you guys have requested a lot of looks from the palette, and I totally understand because it's a new palette and you kind of want to see what can be done with it. So if you saw my first video, that had more of my first impressions, kind of my first look of me just looking at the colors and trying to figure out what might go together. And it had some brief overview information of the palette itself. If you want really in-depth information, like I said before, always check out Kinky Sweat because she really goes into the brand, into the shades, into the formulas and things like that. The last video I did was on the blue quad, and I thought that that was a very, very, very pretty look, and it was actually really shocking to me because blues really aren't my thing, but I really loved that look. With Natasha Denona, you can use these shades horizontally, you can use them diagonally, you can use them in a quad. You really can use them any way that you choose to use them, but she does try to set up kind of an ease of use if in fact you do find that you're getting lost. So last time we used this blue quad right here, and because we're going for more of a pinky coral look which was requested, we're going to be using this quad right here. So right here at the bottom, these four shades, and we're going to try to see what look we can make. So for reference, we're going to be using the color Vigor, Relief, Tranquil, and Calm. So we're going to see what we can do with that. There is this color Sense right here that is kind of slightly outside of the quad, and I feel like we might pull that in. It really depends, but I'm not sure. But for right now, we're just going to stick with the original plan, and we're going to go with the quad. I have already prepped and primed my eyes with the NYX Proof It Primer. It is clear, it doesn't have any color to it, and it is a waterproof-based eyeshadow primer. And of all the primers that I have used or used in the past, that is my ride or die #1 go-to when I do use primers. So we are going to start off with the Wing Gloss #3 brush, and this is just a fluffy brush, and I already have you guys pulled in so that we could just get right to what it is that we're doing. And I think that we are going to start off, I think we're going to start off with the color Calm. So the color Calm right here is kind of this peachy coral color right there, and we're going to kind of just see what that can give to us. Again, I'm not entirely sure of the look that we're going to do today, but we will kind of see what it is that we can come up with. And thus far, I really have enjoyed this palette. Now that a lot more people are getting their palettes, I'm seeing a lot more reviews, and I'm seeing that they do seem to be a little bit hit or miss. Not necessarily everybody is enjoying the palette. The performance they seem to be okay with, but really the color story is where they're getting a bit lost at. If you guys didn't know that on the back of the Natasha Denona palette, there are these holes. And these holes are there because you can pop these shades out, and you can not only mix and match them within this palette itself, but the other Natasha Denona palettes that also have the holes in the back, you could mix and match them with any shades from those palettes and kind of create your own palette and kind of customize what best works for you. So do kind of always remember that if it's seeming like the color story isn't really jiving with you 100% and you want to add some shades from another Natasha Denona palette that you do have the availability to do that. So that right there is a color Calm. It's just kind of like a nice light wash of color. So I'm liking that. I think that depending upon your complexion, I feel like if you are more fair than me, that this is going to show up really as a true kind of pink peachy color. Likewise, I think that if you are deeper skinned than me, that this has the potential to, one, either show up as a very kind of peachy color, or two, show up as a peachy color that is slightly ashy, because you can tell that it does have kind of a bit of that white base in it, and that can tend to produce a bit of an ashy look if you have a bit of a deeper skin tone. So that is just something to notate and kind of watch for. And I'm going to go in a little bit here. Now, what I do want to notate very quickly as I'm using this shade is I want to notate what's happening in the pan. For whatever reason, the shade itself looks like it's almost crumbling and it's getting kind of crackly in the pan. So I'm going to pull you guys in so you can see, and this is calm right there. So if you can see it, it looks like it's almost starting to crumble a bit. I'm not really sure what that is. Almost looks like it has like little bits of rocks or something in there. It's not changing the texture as far as what's being put on my eyes, but it is in fact really changing the consistency in the pan itself. So this is the last time that I'm going into it. So as you saw, I did build that up quite a bit, and that is because it is a true peachy tone, and whenever you have melanated skin, a lot of times, frequently, these lighter tones, especially in the peach category, they do take a bit of building up to kind of get an opacity that you would like on it. And I also want to notate that as I'm putting it on, I don't know if this is because it's kind of crumbling a little bit inside of the palette, but I'm going to come a little closer and see if you guys can see that it's slightly skipping right in the crease, if you can see that. So I'm looking in my mirror and I'm blending out like this. I'm noticing that right here in this crease, it's slightly skipping, almost like it's creating little lines where you have pigment, no pigment, pigment, no pigment. I'm not quite sure what that is or why that is, but I did at least want to notate to you guys that that is happening, at least to me. That might not be the same for everybody, but for me, that is my experience right now. The next brush that we're going to use is going to be the Wayne Goss number 4 brush, and it's just slightly smaller, but it's still fluffy. And for this, I think that we are going to go into the color Relief, and Relief is just a slightly pinkier color. So this is more peach, and then Relief is slightly pinkier. So likely on the eye, you won't see too much of a difference, but we're not sure. Relief I did use as a blush in my blue look. So if you're wondering what the blush color was in my blue look from this palette, it actually was the color Relief. So we're going to go just slightly lower. And we're actually going to do a little corner action. And we're going to bring it into the crease. And it is kind of showing to be slightly different than the peach color, which is good because that's what we wanted. We want to create, you know, some light depth, because even when you're creating kind of like a corally pink look, you still can create a bit of depth with the look itself, even though it is going to lend itself to be a little bit of a lighter, brighter look. So we're going to go into a little bit more of that Relief. We're going to go, ooh, a little itch, right here into the kind of center of the lid again, and then we're just going to bring it back around, just kind of round everything out. And I really do like this color Relief. I think that this is very pretty. I did notice that when I had put it on my cheeks as a blush, it wasn't this light. It actually, for whatever reason, it really did deepen up. I mean, let's not be ridiculous. It didn't deepen up to like a cranberry or anything, but it wasn't as light as this, because I put it on my cheek. I was almost concerned like, ooh, that might be a little bit too light for a blush for my cheeks. But in fact, for whatever reason, when it hit my cheeks, it actually deepened itself up a little bit. So go back into that, kind of hit that outer corner, go back into the crease, make sure things are smooth. And now that we have put Relief down, the skipping from the first color Calm has stopped and it is no longer there. And I actually really like this. I'm just flicking it out just a little bit there in the corner. Just brushes, little hairs from my brush. I really hate that. Just flicking it out a little there in my corner. So I really like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Jaclyn Hill my Jaclyn Hill JH30 brush, and I'm going to make sure there's no product on it, and I'm just going to go over the top and make sure that these are blended nicely together. just because I want to have it be as seamless as I can get it clearly, because that is en la goal, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a chance here. I think we might try a cut crease. Now, am I a cut crease queen? Certainly am not. I probably have only done a cut crease maybe 3 times. I mean, that might be a lie. Maybe 5 times in my entire life. One, because they became very, very popular, and I was like, too cool to be doing things that are popular. When, or at least that's what I told myself. When in reality, it was just that I was talentless to be able to create a cut crease. But I think that because this look is very simplistic, that it can kind of handle a cut crease. So I'm going to take my Colourpop E20 brush, and it's just kind of small and flat, and I'm going to take my NARS Soft Matte concealer, and this is in the color Medium Dark 1 Biscuit, and we're just going to go inside here, and we're going to attempt a cut crease. And this could totally fail, and if it fails, that's okay, because it's makeup, and it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Makeup comes off. Makeup is not permanent. You can always start anew if you find that things didn't work out the way that you had originally wanted. So don't kind of hold yourself to really feeling like because you started something and it didn't turn out how you wanted it, that you're kind of stuck with it, because in fact you're not. Makeup can always be changed, and it can always redeem itself in the way that you want it to. So as you can see, I'm just kind of, almost like I was using a shadow, just kind of carving that out. I don't do too harsh of a cut crease. I know I've seen people who do beautiful kind of cut crease wings, and let me just tell you, girl, the talent and skill of your girl here, we are not nowhere near that, and I don't know that we would ever be near that. I am going a little higher because you do know that we have that hooded lid that is constantly plaguing us. So we do want to make it go slightly higher than it is. So now we're going to go in with our color. And the color that we're going to go in with is we're going to go in with the color Tranquil. And Tranquil is just this very pretty kind of pink shimmer right here. Now because we did put down a concealer because we were doing the cut crease, what I am going to do is I'm going to try to find a more flat brush in order to actually apply the shadow, where typically I would go in with my finger. The first lay down, I want it to be of a brush. I don't have something super big and super flat right now with me, so the best I have is the Wayne Goss number 7, and this is really small to work with, so we're going to have to definitely work, because I do want to pack it on and really have it stay. So we're just going to put the Tranquil on the brush, and we're going to start packing and see how this goes. And I don't necessarily know. Okay, there you go. Yeah, this is going to work fine. You just have to really build it up. I feel like if I had a bit of a bigger brush, it certainly would have lended itself to be easier. But at the same time, this helps to be kind of precise in making sure that we're following the cut crease and trying to not necessarily go outside the lines of it too much, and so that way we can kind of keep the integrity of, the reason why we did the cut crease to begin with, and that is to provide a bit of structure. Now, Tranquil in the palette looks pink. Tranquil on the eye, or at least on my eye, looks very peach. So again, you always just have to notate the color that's in the pan, depending upon what kind of base you're using, what kind of skin tone you have. It can be a bit different, but I like it. So this is Tranquil, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with my finger. So as you can see, Tranquil looks pink on my finger, but on my eye, it looks very much so peach. But now that we kind of have that laid down, now I'm going to go ahead and go over it with my finger and kind of just give it a little bit more pop now that we have the structure of the cut crease down. And I don't necessarily think like a cut crease is necessary, But I think that it's just nice for this look just to provide a bit of structure to things. And then if you need to, you can go back in with your more structured brush again and just kind of hit some more spots that you want to make sure have some nice color in it. Very nice. So I really, really, really like that. All right, so we are going to, Papa, stop, buddy. My fur baby is still in my room, and he is having this thing where he is allergic to the grass, and so he is incessantly licking his feet all the time. You know, and I really don't want him to do that because he will definitely lick them raw. So we're going to go in again with our brush, and we're going to do our non-dominant side cut crease, which is going to present an entirely different host of issues because this is not my dominant side at all. So, come in with this. Here we go. And I am really liking this, and clearly things are on my side today because this is not half as difficult as it has been for me in the past, and so I'm greatly appreciative of that because I really wanted to be able to kind of just show you guys a little bit more of a structured look. So at that point, we're done with it. You can use any kind of concealer for that. I like the NARS matte, soft matte concealer because it's more of a concealer that's in a pot and it's not quite as emollient as some concealers because what you don't want to do is you don't want it to start to crease up either because that would be a no bueno. So we're going back in with Tranquil again, and we're going to just kind of lay it down the same way we did the first time just to kind of get the structure going before we go in with our finger to kind of just add the extra pop. And like I said, I am really surprised that this is pink in the pan and that it looks so peach on my eye. That is quite the shock to me that it changed that kind of significant, but here we are. But I still think that it is a very pretty look, and it lends to the fact that we are doing a corally pinky peach look today. The last kind of look to do in this palette, if we were to do another look, would be more so kind of with the browns and kind of the golds and bronzies. So I'm not sure if I will do that look because I do have some other videos that I had wanted to get up at the same time. I figure that's really the last look in the palette, and then we have literally used every shade in the palette. So kind of why not? So I think we might go ahead and do that also. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to again put Tranquil on the finger and kind of really go into those center spaces and make sure that it is nice and saturated because we already have our outline. So we're not going to like mess that up or anything like that. So get that put on the lid. Make sure that it is looking the same on the other lid because we want them to be even Stevens. We don't want anyone to feel left out. Like they're just not the belle of the ball at the party. Again, if you need to take your brush and kind of really get into the crevices, by all means do that so that way you can keep your structure and your flow. And that, guys, is kind of that basey eye look that we have right there. And this stays a little less blended because it is the cut crease, so you don't necessarily want to blend it away because that was the reason why you did the cut crease. What we are going to now do is I'm going to take this Moda brush right here, and this is kind of like a pencil brush, an angled pencil brush, and we're going to take the last color that's in our quad, and this is called Vigor, and this is kind of a cranberry, and we're going to do something that I typically would not do, and we are going to line our eyes with it. So this could, I'm just telling you that this could go terribly wrong. I'm really not sure. I do have to hold my eye taut, guys, because this is not a fresh 18-year-old face. So we're going to need to hold it a little taut, and then I'm going to just kind of almost attempt to create a soft wing with this. I know I'm not really like so much talking, but I am trying to stay focused because I am really not trying to have this go horribly awry if in fact I can save it. Thus far, I am actually liking what it's doing. I just want to make sure that it's both pigmented and smooth. And I'm not looking for it to be necessarily thin because I do want it to be able to anchor this. So I want it to be a little thicker than maybe what you would do for kind of a regular liquid liner look. Because I do want you to be able to see the color, and that's why I keep dipping back into it, because I want to make sure the color is able to pack on and stay saturated where it is that I put it, because that is kind of what I'm looking for with it, and then kind of just looking to bring it out just a hair slightly, because again, with hooded eyes, girls, you guys all know when you have hooded eyes, it does not love a wing, so you can't be doing too much with it because it will just go awry. So I just want just a little something. I like that. Okay, all right, look at that coming through. So let's go ahead and let's do the other eye. And if you guys are wondering why, like, why don't you just do one eye on camera and one eye off camera? I feel like sometimes people need to see both eyes get done because we all have, again, a dominant side and a non-dominant side. And so I know that when I watch videos, I like to see the whole thing. Now, I have done videos before where I have kind of like sped everything up, just for time's sake and just put music to it and let it go. But now that I'm kind of trying to produce content that I would want to see, I'm kind of changing that. And I like long form content. I like a good 10-minute video, and I also like a good 40-minute video. I think that too often now we have become accustomed to not being able to hold our attention span with anything from shows to everything else. We have to be multitasking. And I think sometimes it's nice just to sit and kind of feel like you're sitting with a friend and listen to them talk and do their makeup, and you can sit and you can do your makeup. And I just, for me, myself, in such a chaotic world, I find that to be very comforting, to be very calming. And so since I like to watch those types of videos, those are the types of videos that I'm trying to create. So if you're somebody who likes more short form, I do have some shorter videos, but at the same time, I'm going to have some longer videos because that's just kind of what I like to do. So guys, I am really, really here for this look, especially this kind of little powder wang we have going on here, okay? All right. So I think that what we're going to do is we're going to do the bottom lash line. And I think with the bottom lash line, we're going to still use that same angled brush we just used. And I think that I'm not going to use the burgundy on the bottom because that will make me look jaundice and like a white rat with red eyes real quick. So we're not going to do that. I think though what we are going to do is we're going to go in with the color Relief, which is that pink color. And we're going to put Relief along the bottom. And with, I say along the bottom, I mean like very, very, very close to the lower lash line. So we're not going to do a real kind of heavy blowout with this look. Simply because we're using peaches and pinks, and very quickly those can go awry, and they can have you looking like you have pink eye, like you have jaundice. So you want to be real careful with it. So as you can see, I just lined that very, very close. And then, as you know, we will be doing a color in the waterline with a liner, because that is kind of like my signature thing, is that I love to add color to a look by adding a pop of color through a liner to the lower lash line. I just think that that helps to pull a look together without actually having to use a shadow to do so. So there we kind of are with that. I think that for the inner corner, what we're going to do is we are just going to take our small number 7 wing gloss brush again, and I think that we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into the color Scent. And Scent was the color, like this was the quad we were working with. Scent was kind of this off pink color right here. I think we're going to go ahead and use that because it doesn't really fall into what would be the next kind of quad if we did another look, which is more the bronzy goldy looks. And we're just going to take the color Scent, and this is what we're going to use in our inner corner. It seems to be a little deeper than what you might use for your inner corner, but I think that it's going to look really pretty, and it's just going to continue to go with the kind of peachy coral pink look that we have going on right now. Of course, the camera cut off because that's what it does, but you guys know that I like to pull it down a bit and curve it around a bit in a C and connect to really kind of get that shine. So when the light hits it, it really doesn't just look like it's a kind of sparkly booger in your eye, but it actually is shining some light on the area. So there we have that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and, because we're done with the palette itself, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my eyelashes. I'm going to do my liner. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys the final look. And we're going to have a little conversation about this coral peach look that we've just gotten into. So give me 2.2 seconds, guys. Let me finish everything up. I will come back and we will have a chat about it. Okay, guys. So we're totally back. And I just wanted to go ahead and tell you what I put on my eyes. So for the outer third of my eyes, I used the Marc Jacobs Popular liner. And this is in pink. And again, you want to be a little careful because you can, when you're doing pink on pink on pink, you can look a little jaundiced. But I thought it was just really nice to really just bring home that pink look. And then in the inner third of the eye, I used the Marc Jacobs Pink of Me. And this is almost a white-based pink. So this is very light, but it kept with the pink theme. But it also helped to open up the eye and just brighten it a little bit. And so those were the two things that I used on my lower lash line. I used my Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara for my eyelashes and for the bottom lashes. And then I did try something new. I wasn't sure if I was going to put lashes on or not, but I went ahead and I did. I put the lashes on, and I used the Colourpop falsies and the Style Lover. So let me kind of tell you a little bit. I am having a real go of it, if I'm going to be honest. And since we're being honest here and we're being truthful, I don't want to front like, oh, this was just an easy peasy look. No, I'm having a real go of it. I don't like these lashes in particular. They're very, very hard to stick and stay. And I have used both my velour, the clear, and I also have used the one where I can line my eye, but instead of lining it, I put it on the lash and put it on. And I'm just having a real go of it because of this band. So it's not my favorite set of lashes, but I think all said and done, I think the look looks very pretty. So let me get into it. And again, if you see a little wonky lash, try not to pay too much attention to that because we're working on it. So this is the look. And I really like it. I really like this pink kind of corally look that we have. I think that it's very pretty. I think it's very summery, very springy. The nice blush, flush look. I have this beautiful Proper Beauty lipstick on, and this is in the color Limitless, and so it's kind of an orangey brown. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think that it really just ties everything in and gives it a little bit more dimension. And I think that the lashes really help to make this look go to a little bit of the next level because it is such a soft look. By no means do you have to wear lashes. I think that it would be perfect with just some mascara. But if you did just want to take a simplistic look and elevate it a little bit, I think that the lashes, if they stay on and don't be wonky, it really helps to just ground it and just elevate it just a little bit without doing too much. And like I said, I think the two bottom pink liners, they can lean going jaundice real quick. So you want to make sure that it is the right hues and shades of pink for you. But I think all in all, guys, I think this is a really pretty look. So once again, let's get into the fact that this time we use this pink quad right here. It was this pink quad right here, and then it was this little pink color here, which is Scent, and that's what we use in our inner corner. But again, we did the quad in the quadrant. Now, if we want to do another look with the browns, it would end up actually being like an L shape. It would be this and then this one. So it would be an L. And then honestly, guys, that would be the last look for the palette. We would have used every single shade in the palette. We would have created kind of a color story in which we first chose in the first video a blue one, a pink coral one, and then the kind of brown bronzy one, and that really makes up the palette. So I think that I may do that last look just to kind of round everything out, and so that way anybody who buys the palette now or in the future, especially if you're the same complexion as me, or somewhere close to the same complexion as me or undertones, at least you would have a couple different looks to kind of see what these shades could look like on your skin, and if they would best benefit you. So like I said, I really like this look. I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much for the beautiful, beautiful subscriber who asked that I did a coral look. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I really enjoyed doing this look. And trust, if you want more coral looks, I have 1,000 other palettes that have coral looks, and I have the Colourpop coral palette that we also could do a look with. But again, this is basically the Natasha Denona Zendo week, and I'm kind of like doing like a week's worth of looks for a palette. I know some people may be like, girl, just you're beating a dead horse, but at the same time, I've done videos where I've done 3 looks within the video, and to me, they're still filmed over the course of several days. So I kind of like actually being able to just do a video on the looks as I'm doing versus putting them all together. Again, I like long form content. I hope that you're liking it, enjoying it. I think that it allows our personalities to shine and us to really get to know each other. I think that if you wanted me to do a speed through with music, then I'm probably not the content creator for you, and that's 100% okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Please find somebody who works best with you. But for me, your girl likes to talk. I like to talk. I like to talk to you guys. I like to have opinions, and I like to feel like we are doing the family thing here. I don't want to just rush through a look, have some music, speed it up, because I just don't know if, for me personally, if I find value in those types of videos. So therefore, I want to make the types of videos that I enjoy watching, and I enjoy watching these types of videos. So guys, please, any suggestions about palettes, let me know down below, because I have over 400 palettes. So there's likely a good chance I have it. So even if they're from palettes from 4 years ago, I probably have it. So please toss some palettes out. If you want me to do a look with them, let me know, and I absolutely will. Because as much as I want to make content that I enjoy watching and for myself, I also want to make sure that you guys are enjoying the content, and that's content that you want to engage with. So please engage, interact with me. Let me know what you want to see. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, give me not 1, but 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up, especially because your girl is working with a wonky eyelash. Now, you already know me and eyelashes, we're kind of like oil and vinegar. When we mix, it can be beautiful. But any other time, we really just don't go together. So, especially with these ones, I'm not loving them, but your girl is trying. So definitely give me 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up for the A for effort for trying, guys. And for trying to do this motif, I tried to give you guys like a whole pinky peachy motif here. You see how it was giving you themes? You see what I'm putting into this? So give me 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of all my new videos, and not miss a single one. If you haven't already, head on over to Instagram. Follow me at Londyn Brielle so you can see what I'm doing. I think one time I said what I'm not doing when I'm not here on the YouTube, and I was like, But we're just gonna let that go. You can see what I'm doing when I'm not here on the YouTubes. I have school, I have a dog, I have a husband, I have a life, I have all kinds of things happening. So kind of interact with me over there too, because like I said, I really do want this to be a family. I know sometimes people say that, but to me, connectivity is very, very important. And I think that sometimes people aren't always getting the connections in their everyday lives and their physical lives. And so if I can help be that connective piece for you, I want to, because I need the connection just as much as everybody else needs the connection. So I want us to connect together and really build a real, true, authentic family. Even though it's online, it is no less of a family, and we're no less connected simply because it's through a different medium and a different form. So I love you guys so much. I always appreciate you guys spending time with me. I appreciate the likes, but I really, really, really appreciate the comments. I really appreciate you guys engaging with me, because that means that I know that you took time out of your day that you could have been putting towards anything else, and you put it towards me, and I will always be eternally grateful for that. So I love you guys. I will miss you until my next video, and I will see you on the flip side. I love you guys. Bye.